In this example, we come to a slightly tricky situation. The backing track has some sus11 chords, which makes it a touch trickier to improvise over. But nevertheless, we will find a nice brass section arrangement to fit this section. So we'll move the loop section along. And once again, I'll start by using my piano instrument. The section actually starts at bar 28, so I'll make sure I start at the right place. So I'll simply run through a couple of times now and see what ideas pop out. A method I sometimes use is to capture what I have recorded if I am happy with it, and then open that pattern in a second screen, which I can then follow using the instruments I want to play in. So now I'll start recording the trombone. Okay, after a few takes I'm quite happy with that idea. And as you may have noticed, I have a flugelhorn instrument available to me down here. This also comes from the trumpet library, and is a flugelhorn preset. It's also controlled with the breath controller. So now let's record the flugelhorn. Now we can answer that first line using the saxophone. And then I'll add the tenor saxophone, playing fourths. The first take didn't sound how I wanted it to sound, because I played an octave too low, so I record it again an octave higher. And then we'll answer the second phrase with the flugelhorn. And with the trombone. And now we can answer that section starting with the trumpet. My first idea wasn't so great, so I'll use the same idea as we used, which is to play in fourths. Next up is the tenor saxophone. And then the trombone. Having played the trombone in, I now don't like the tenor saxophone line, so I'll simply delete it, find a new line, and then record it. Listening back, I think the tenor sax is a touch too loud. So I'll simply select all of the continuous controller 2 data, or breath controller, and lower it somewhat. So now let's listen to the whole section. Obviously, the mix could do with some work, but apart from that, I'm relatively happy with this idea. One thing that would give this section more punch and power would be to assign the instruments to a stereo group, and then to compress the group. This would tighten everything up and give it some added power. The built-in compressor plugins included with almost any DAW would certainly be up to this task. If you wanted to add even more character, you could choose a compressor that had a valve characteristic, for example. Now we arrive at the next section, and here we have a much simpler chord progression, and the trumpet can play something a bit less rigid. Something like this type of melody. And of course we can go straight in and double it with the alto saxophone, the tenor saxophone, and then the trombone. As you can see, this was a fairly simple section, and so very quick to record. One thing I would like to change is the tenor saxophone. I kind of want to reach a high point in this section, and so I'll move the tenor saxophone up an octave. So let's carry on with the next section. I'll start here with the trumpet. Yet again, once I have found my idea, I'll simply go through and record the saxophones and trombone. And here we arrive back at the middle section, which we have already recorded.